actions while they're in some kind of litigation over conflict. So I can see, I mean, it's an unusual case, but I can see that happening. And in fact, I'm aware of one situation where that is exactly the case. And the bylaw, and it was a land use bylaw, like a community plan, actually was in jeopardy in the end because somebody that was convicted of conflict of interest had voted on it. So I think there might actually be occasion when you might want to seek your own legal opinion about the risk to the corporation.
We've been there.
You've been there, yeah. So I'm not sure you can think of it as a complete prohibition. I think there are cases, again, where you need to put on your risk management hat and think about that. But I agree with you completely on a day-to-day basis. You don't want to be involved. It's an, you know, the chart is quite clear about this. This is up to the individual, right, to manage their own conflicts, and they are solely accountable for their actions in that regard, right? It's just where that might come up against the risks.
Move on.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Anything else on this one? You can see we have 15 minutes into it. Let me just point this out to you. And these are in consequences for serious breaches of the performance expectations, the motion of censure, reassignment of committee or other civic appointments and duties, and limitations on access to staff or to municipal resources. These, again, if you read this discussion paper by Young Anderson, you'll see that these have, at this point, been regarded as being legitimate actions of the council. And you probably all are aware of cases where this has happened, where the mayor's office has been removed. Sorry, John. You know, where staff has been removed from the mayor, where the mayor has been taken off the regional district, or you know, councillors' appointments to the chamber have been removed. These are all decisions of council, and you have the ability to use those to, again, limit the risk to the organization. So if you have a councillor who is a renegade and not, you know, and is going and causing all kinds of upheaval in the way they are representing the council at an organization, or putting the municipality at risk because of things they're saying, you have the ability to limit, not what they say, but limit the resources that they have and the access that they have. So, you know, those are really extreme, but boy, it happens more and more all the time. Mayor Ford is the perfect example, yeah. Right? Putting the corporation at risk, and the council, I think, put it reluctantly, but eventually confined the risk to the organization, right?
He still gets paid for those 70-minute shows. He goes on the show.
Well, now he's on YouTube.
Yeah, he's
Okay, so let's just talk about the mayor for a minute, and then hopefully we can just talk about the staff.
So I believe that it's in our county control.
Oh, is it? Yes. Yes. Okay, bonus. I didn't realize that. So that's just that's perfect actually. So you can tolerate this a little bit longer. So the mayor has all of the duties of the members of council as laid out in the charter, plus a few special responsibilities, and of course a really important role. So, you know, role as the leader of the group. So the mayor's the leader and a member of the governing body of the corporation. The mayor has all the responsibilities of a member of council outlined in the community charter, and some additional responsibilities. The role of mayor is a governance role distinct from the management role, as described. And where the councillors had the two roles, a corporate responsibility and an individual responsibility as the elected representative, the mayor has this third role as the leadership role to the council, and then there's just a list of, you know, things that the mayor should be doing. So the mayor is an individual member of council with a few exceptions. All authority is derived through the council as a whole, and the mayor has no independent statutory authority outside of his or her capacity as a member representing the council. Thus, virtually all decisions of council are to be made by council as a whole, not by the mayor individually. In most cases, direction given by the mayor without endorsement of council has no effect. And there are just a couple of very, very small exceptions to that. mayor can't go out there and be making representations to organizations or businesses unless the direction has been given by council. Although these are the facts and law, the mayor possesses tremendous potential to develop persuasive and leadership strength through leading and developing constructive relationships with members of council. And this is really where the mayor's real power is. It's in this, not in the legislative authority, but in the authority that comes with the position. Because, you know, I don't know what Canadians really believe the mayors have all this power, but they don't necessarily have, right?
It's true.
And, you know, it's because maybe we watch American television where they have a strong mayor system. We don't have a strong mayor system. But there is tremendous status in the position of the mayor. And through that status, there's tremendous potential for influence and persuasive power. So the role of the mayor is to lead council in initiation, deliberation, and decision-making related to the key areas of council responsibilities. So listed in number 4. The duties outlined in the charter are there. And then, in terms of performance expectations, I've laid them out. And maybe I can just ask you this question. Again, the same pattern as with the councillor, but the detail is different, of course. And then this section on breaches of performance expectation is exactly the same as the councillor. So maybe I can ask you, Mayor Tim, is there anything there that you were uncomfortable with, or is there anything missing there in your mind?
I don't think so, and there's nothing I'm not done with.
Let me say that I really believe that the mayor's role not only is to lead and to represent, but also to facilitate. I mean, really, that where the mayor can do, the role that the mayor has in facilitating the forward movement of the group is really where his real constructive contribution can come. I may be only doing this myself in retrospect. And, you know, it's about bringing these diverse opinions together and hoping to advance the movement forward towards decisions. And it's very much a facilitative role that you have to try to, you know, gently move the group forward, respecting the differences of opinion around the table, but trying to bring the council to a decision.
Can I just ask a
Sure.
question? Allison, under community charge, section 116, number 2E. I'm not sure that the mayor has ever done this. I didn't know that was an expectation of him. To recommend bylaws, resolutions, and other measures.
You know, I think
John has never made a recommendation. He allows council
to bring them forward.
on all decisions.
You know, I think where that, I mean, there is a special relationship between the city manager and the mayor. And there may be times when between the two of them they say, we really should be looking at this. We really see we're going to have a problem with dog catchers or drug enforcement or something, right? And so then, you know, they together bring this to council and say, you know, we should be looking at this. It would be my view as the mayor that I'm aware of this risk or this opportunity. We should be looking at this. And then council makes, has a discussion and makes a decision.
Yeah, again, that's generally what happens. That you know, if there is something new, staff, the city manager will bring it forward and we'll discuss it. And you know, so it's something that I have a strong opinion for. We'll discuss that. If it's something that is more of a housekeeping thing, maybe a bylaw that needs to be changed and make it correct. That's done as well.
So it probably doesn't come to the table as a bylaw, but it comes as an idea,
yes,
right, or a concept,
generally how it
or a problem, and then ultimately would end up as a bylaw. Yeah.
Not as a criticism, but we know that you have the some of which may go somewhere, some of which will move. Is there ever a point that we should share that with us? Those
Well,
meetings?
You know, presumably he makes judgments about that, but you know, what I used to do is I always had, we had a regular time on our council meetings where all members of council reported out on their activities. Do you guys do that?
Yeah.
Well, it was a good way to share information, and as a part of that, I always did a brief report about my activities. You know, I went to the Chamber of Commerce, or I did a presentation at the school, or I met with these people or that people. It takes time to do that, but it was a way of sharing. Or you can do it by email. I think, you know, it's a judgment call. So what, and I love the language of the Watson report, you know, what do you contribute that will advance the work of the corporation, of the council of the corporation, right? So what information that you would share that you would help you advance your movement towards your goals and objectives. So if you know, Mr. Mayor, if you met with Fast-Berry guy or something, what do you think might be really, might really make a difference to the city and the corporation? I think you might share that.
Yeah.
Right? So you make judgments probably about it all the time, about what you share and what you don't use it for.
Yeah, but I think if there's a meeting scheduled with, let's say, very expensive,
Yeah.
that's set up sometime in advance, and we know about it. But what often happens is that the meetings aren't solely with me, they might be with staff. And so they'll come in to see staff, and then they'll say, look, the mayor's in, we'll come in and say hi, that sort of thing. Does that represent a separate meeting or an extension of the first meeting and things like that? Sometimes the lines are blurred. I had a woman come in who was very prepared, she seen me right away. She came in and it turned out that she had, her husband had advised her to come and see me because they found the potable in the room. Well, I could report that because I briefly thought about it, but I tried with the baby.
Yeah. So,
But there's a pretty broad stream of meetings.
Yeah. You might want, I think it's a fair question, and what the councillors want to feel confident in is that you're not withholding information. Not you individual, but that the mayor has access to information that the councillors generally don't. And what needs to happen is the mayor needs to provide enough information to reassure the councils that they're not withholding information. So, and it's a balance to be had there. And I suggested one way of dealing with it, and you just might want to think about how the mayor does that, right? What's the best way to gain the confidence of members of council? Because that's really what it's about, right? You want to be not fretting about not that you would. I would
be surprised.
You don't want to be surprised. Yeah, you don't want to be blindsided, right? You don't want to feel like you're being manipulated, right? You want to feel confident that you have as much information as you need to carry. Anything else in here that you have questions about? If not, we will in the dark here. Let's just go to the council staff piece here. Oh, sorry. There we go. So we've drafted council staff protocol, and that's what we call it. I'm not hung up on any of these individual words. And we attempted to just kind of lay out some guidelines for, what is the role of the staff? What should the interaction between council and staff look like? So I just offer a quick description of the nature of the council-staff relationship, noting that the role of council is that of governance, the role of staff is of management and implementation. And council and staff perform their individual roles and work in partnership. Although the roles of council and staff are distinct, they are interdependent, and each one requires the other to fulfill the corporation's mandate and purposes outlined in the charter. So in my view, see them as absolutely interdependent. I also usually throw for public there as a third party, I see it as a tripartite interdependency, that you need each other. You do different things, but you really need each other, and you can't do your job without the staff, and the staff can't do their job without you. And you need to understand that as a partnership. Less as a hierarchy and more as an interdependency. So the appropriate level and form of interaction between individual counselors and staff actually should be, individual counselors and staff. By law, the work of council is conducted at meetings of council where information is requested, received, discussion takes place, decisions are made and reported, and with some exceptions, the public is present. And then, so the discussion goes on. And then I have a series of questions that are these in the form of questions, because I just think it's an easy way to get information. How should I, as councillor, interact with staff? This is all open for discussion. This is just my take on the world. Councillors interact with staff in a respectful, business-like manner, of course. They refrain from criticizing staff, and they refrain from building overly close or personal relationships with the city manager or staff. This is a business relationship, not a personal relationship that you have. Councillors should be sensitive to the fact that staff time they occupy as individuals is time that is not being spent on the work directed by public council. We had a little discussion about that previously. This might be worth some discussion. This is about being sensitive to that. The challenges that presents if you're hanging around with the staff, what that does to the rest of their time. Then there's some guidelines about how councillors should make a question or request information from staff. How should I, as a councillor, communicate concerns about a member of staff or the city manager? And to remind you, this really should go through the mayor. We talked about it a little bit earlier. And then what's special about the relationship between the mayor and the city manager? There's some guidelines there. That's it. So I suspect that there's room for some discussion about this. There's some questions about this, and maybe there's some things missing.
Not really, other than it brings back to memory one of the first things in the first week of my first term, where I had a question about a dog issue, if I remember correctly, and I called the city pound, and boy, did I get my fingers stuck. Remember that. So I'm careful, and I try to just go to department heads or for me it's working well.
I mean, I think this is, in the role description, there's this discussion about your role to the corporation and your role as an individual accountable to the public. And the reality of your world is that the public phone you with complaints. So then you got to figure out, how do I deal with this that works for the corporation and yet gets the response that you genuinely want and should be provided to members of the public. So setting up systems that will allow you to do that, right? And if you have a system, and you have quite an open system here, so I'm right in saying it's the city manager, the director, the department head, right? Those are the levels that council can feel comfortable phoning. There are some limitations on the extent of your requests for information. I assume that if you brought forward a dog complaint, that you would communicate that complaint and you would get information back, and so that then you could go back to your constituent, or the staff member would go back to the constituent, right? And probably in 90-85% of the cases that would work quite well, I think.
Yeah, it varies a little bit because certain areas of expertise, like social planning, I'm sure councillors phone John or social planner directly, and I think that's all fine. I think that we've actually worked out a system just over time that works really well.
Yeah. So what is really important about this is, and for you as the governing body, is you want to make sure that your staff feel empowered to communicate back to you or back to the city manager when the request is inappropriate or too much. like, I got this request today and I don't feel comfortable.
I have been thinking about this whole issue a little bit because I really want the staff to think about excellence in their work, not about failure and making mistakes. And it's an interesting dichotomy because they feel gun shy about making decisions when they read in the press about criticism about, or they hear at council meetings all these questions about their work. So it's a real difficult thing to keep them
Yeah.
motivated to always just want to do better rather than not to make mistakes. Well, and we know in development process, and of course, to take initiative and make decisions that may be outside of the box helps what we believe council's direction is and philosophy is, but can come back to bite them, and then they retreat even further back. So, you know, that's why we try and keep the communication at a higher level as best we can, and then translate down to the staff, you know, the politics of what's going on.
Yeah, that's right, and that is, you know, that is a real challenge for the council, is to set that tone for the staff so that they feel confident that they can do their work and that they're contributing positively to the city, because, you know, like, they're in the civil service, that's why they're here, right? All your staff could go and work somewhere else, but there is a component of people that work in public service. They really want to feel that they are contributing positively to a community. And if you beat them up and criticize them, particularly in public when they have no recourse to defend themselves, you will beat them down. And they will do less of a job for you because they will be gun-shy. So
And it's not even just about criticizing, it's all the questions. You know, you know, why do you do this? I don't want to. And it just, they get this perception that something's wrong without council just coming out and saying, I don't agree with that, or just talking about it in a different way. They get
focusing on the issue,
Yeah,
right?
that's right, rather than the process of the person.
Yeah, and so there's a real balancing act for you to do, because you never want to lose your critical edge, right? You always want to be, you know, aware of things that can go wrong in the staff level. But if you beat on it, it will not work in your favor. It will not help you achieve the strategic